Same for technology. So I think technology can be seen as a stakeholder, an additional layer. It's important to invest there. Of course, it's easy to say that from Hudl perspective, but I truly believe it. And if we invest there, we think about these 3 items, I think, how we speed up processes, how we create more insights, but really tailored. I mean, you said it as well, needs to be tailored for the end users. That's the common message, I think, today as well. And by integrating their strengths and their responsibilities into the process. I will skip that because I already spoke about that. I think, again, I cannot highlight it more, this aspect on where everyone maybe sits together as a group and really is honest to itself or him or herself. But I want to speak also, of course, using the opportunity to speak about Hudl, as not everyone is in the room, and we have some listeners. So we got founded 2006, and what I'm actually quite proud and what I like is that there are 3 co-founders or 3 founders, which are 3 students, could be from this university, are still the CEO, CTO, and CEO from the company. And yeah, they're still leading that company. So it's still driven by the founders, which have been students. And we are now more than 4,000 employees. We've grown very fast, of course, by also acquiring other companies, but also by developing, investing heavily in especially the engineering stuff, not only sales part, but especially in the engineering and the product development area. So we are acting from actually more than 20 countries. Right now, if someone's interested here in joining, we're always looking for great talents and also experience of course, people to join Hudl. And when we look on the let's say breadth of who we support next to mid-market and college and high school teams. We support the top leagues in all various sports, in more than 35 sports these days. And we're also proud that we developed the Swedish market in the ice hockey market from 1 team 2 years ago. Thank you. Till 5 teams now, which are utilizing our products. And also in the NHL, we developed them in 2 years from 12 to now 28, not only via Instat, but also with Sports Code and other tools. And I think it's a great progress, and we're happy to do that. And learning from other sports, you named it as well, is so important. So we love to connect the people. And I think you know your industry already. It's interesting maybe to look in other leagues like Thomas on how he's approaching things, but it's more important and more influence on if you look on other sports. And I would not name actually Arsenal. I would name other smaller teams if you want to look on football. So more maybe Midtjylland, for example, in Denmark, or even Hammarby with David Samter. So if you want to look on a data approach, they do it really well with a limited amount of money on how effectively and efficiently they utilize the tools they have and the resources also from a persona point of view they have. Well, this is our mission. Make every moment count, I think, is key here. So that's why we also extended our product suite. And this is our solutions which are really connected. And we're still aiming to connect them even more, not only internally, but also outside externally to other data providers, for example. I think where we heavily invested is in the capture area. So we just brought out Hudl Focus and Focus Flex, which is a portable camera. We're hoping to get that ready for ice hockey very soon. And also on the wearable part, we just acquired a Vimo last summer. This is a GPS and LPS system, and I'm sure you can ask the people we have 4 here today and the next days more about Vimo and what it can bring to you. Of course, Hudl Instat is the key acquisition we did for ice hockey for here in the room, and the next steps there, because this was also a question asked before, is to integrate it fully with sports code. And we're happy to speak more about that also later in the one-on-one talks or group talks. Just to go briefly through it, Hudl Replay, if you don't know it, it's the tool coaches are utilizing on the bench or in the pause, in the breaks of the thirds, as well in other sports, of course. Hudl Coda is a tool where you can tag with the via an app, so the iPhone or iPad, utilized in training or scouting when you visit on site or sit in the sofa at home, but you want to create some data and get some insights. And also what I think is key for us is the Hudl Academy. So also for the students here, if you're interested, next to getting a trial license and stuff, you can learn and in your own tempo, you can learn a dedicated course via our online platform. So Bayern Munich, for example, they utilize working students, the football club Bayern Munich. And before the working students are actually starting, they run through these courses, so they start not there, and you don't waste time when you integrate an intern or a student or a new coach. Now you start there. And for example, with Red Bull Munich, now they get a new head coach, as some of you might know, with the great Don Jackson leaving. They get a new coach, Söderholm, and we meet 2 weeks time. We meet on site in Salzburg because they have this joint venture, of course, with Salzburg, and we are being there for 2 days and doing on-site support. So this is how we speed up the people. This is how we dedicate also the training session for their needs and for their level, let's say, as well. So we have an advanced session in the afternoon, working with the more advanced people like Kershi, like also Lavrov from the academy, who I can also highly recommend to visit. This is my team. Because you mentioned general manager, someone there, I think it's important that also the decision makers understand why to invest in personas, why to invest in data, for example, in technology in general, every kind of technology, for example, also in the psychology mental part. And we're doing these dedicated sessions and trainings with the leading industry members, and this is our experience. Unfortunately, we don't have an ex-hockey player in our team, but we do have in the company. But I hope we can add one, as we are growing in the hockey area. Sorry for that. And this is our experience in the market. Myself, I work 10 years now for the German national team, and worked before for Hoffenheim and other teams. I don't want to speak too much about football, so I skip that. And also we do pro services. So next to the general consultancy and the assessment, for example, what I spoke before with Thomas about, we are really nailing these aspects. And as today we also have this science approach and spoke a lot about data, I want to more speak about that actually, because I do think it's growing in every segment of sports to create a unique central database, and the talents are there at the university. It's important how you integrate them, and therefore it's really important to have this clear vision as a club, as a league, as a federation, on how you want to embed this into the company and how you profitize it, and every stakeholder profitize it, not only the coaches, not only recruitment or the general managers. Happy to speak more about that, on how we do that with other teams in other sports. But we also just do it by request. So we actually create data tables. We actually create dashboards with Tableau or whatever, so people can use it for recruitment. If you don't have a data team, because not everyone has it, and there are different persona types also utilizing data with different needs and different skill sets. And at the end, it's about the coaches. So ask the coaches what they need and tailor it down to them. I already spoke about our academy, but we also have, and as this is more a company overview, have a great customer success team. I remember Maciej, we had also a call when I was on vacation. So Also, Lance is working 24 hours. I have a feeling sometimes, and being in Sweden and England at the same time. I hope you feel well supported for the teams who are here, and because this is our key investment as well, to create this, to have a dedicated implementation team who comes to the clubs, who comes to the league. Lance just been here, I don't know, a few months ago, speaking also to the league, not only on sports code or on whatever, but also on infrastructure type of. So how can we set up an arena like we did connected in the NHL to have a proper network from analysis position to the bench and maybe to the locker room? How can we create a network from the camera position that the feeds are reliable, and we can not only use one feed with the cable, but we can create multiple feeds? So this is all what we do, and what not only my team does, but also the implementation team where Lance is part of, and also the support team who has the knowledge of multiple years, not only working in technology, but also in sports. And therefore, we are ready to help, and ready to help you and give you more insights. I don't know why it's jumping here. In the next days, we're also ready to arrange a workshop during the next days. So maybe we can group together after this meeting to see, okay, what is the main topic for you guys and girls, and to again build this community like we did in Belgium, where we now have just ran the second analysis community conference with more than 80 analysts from the first and second league taking part of. And I hope we can create this here in Sweden as well, next to this conference, which hopefully takes place next year again. And I think my time is over. If there are any questions also on the previous session with Thomas, more on the product side, maybe hold your hand now, or let's have a chat afterwards. Thank you.